Hello, I'm Charles Petroselli, Mayor of the City of Watervliet. I want to thank you for taking the time to listen to my third State of the City address. I'm excited to deliver the news of the projects and improvements planned over the next year. But first I must give credit to those that helped us get to where we are today. City Council members Barb Diamond and Peter Torrencello and the city employees have worked hard and tirelessly throughout the strenuous year of another COVID-19. Despite the obstacles, we accomplished many noteworthy achievements for the city and residents in 2021. And they need to be recognized for their hard work and commitment. So let's talk about first the most important item, financial. The financial status of the City of Watervliet in 2021 is a very positive one, which is a tremendous accomplishment considering a few years ago the City of Watervliet was listed by the State Controller's Office as one of the most financially distressed cities in the state. On top of that, of course, we had COVID. Today, I am delighted to state that we expect surpluses in all our three operating funds. The surpluses are a result of responsible budgeting and tough decisions that were in the best interest for the city and its residents. Revenue generated in 2021 was significantly higher than expected, primarily due to sales tax. We budgeted to receive $3.45 million in sales tax, and we received more than $4.2 million. We budgeted $970,000 in state aid, and we received $1.4 million, which included the residual effect of aid we were supposed to receive in 2020, pandemic year. Responsible budgeting, not wishful or hopeful budgeting, will keep the city's finances in order and off the most distressed list. More importantly, we kept a zero tax increase. We are still working with the New York State Financial Review Board, the FRB, to receive a grant funding for our accounting systems. The appropriate adjustments were made in the FRB late in 2020 to allow us to continue moving forward with this grant. In the coming year, we look to continue with the FRB to purchase our city streetlights and convert all our city lighting to LED. If we can accomplish this, the FRB will also grant the city up to $340,000. This conversion will not only save the taxpayer money, but also result in more energy-efficient city. We just recently received proposals and will select a company to help us guide us through the purchase of the streetlights and the installation of our new LED lights. We will work in partnership to ensure that we are leading and advocating in the fight against climate change, and more importantly, energy savings for future years to come. Let's talk a little bit now about businesses. Had a tough year for COVID. We have dedicated a higher focus on our businesses, which were forced to deal with very unique challenges because of the pandemic. The focus will continue to help support and encourage and ensure their survival and growth. We partnered recently with the City of Troy in the development of the Congress Street Bridge Study. That effort will link the downtown growth in both Troy and Watervliet and with our area attractions such as the Hudson Shores Park, our bike trail, and our restaurants. Our general manager has been working with ongoing discussions with potential developers to purchase any of the vacant buildings we have here in the city. And please stay tuned for more that you'll hear about the former Selby gas station, the Luke Oil gas station on 2nd Avenue, and Papa's Restaurant. This year, we also will mark the second annual Restaurant Week in the City of Watervliet. City restaurant owners stated that the last year's event was a tremendous success, and we look forward to working with them again to continue the success for their years to come. Check out our city's website for more updates and details on Restaurant Week. Code enforcement is very important to our health and safety of our community. Our building code is now under review for improvements. The city has reached out to a consultant to review and make recommendations that will strengthen and control some of our neglected and troubled buildings. These changes will contribute to the stabilization of our neighborhoods. The city also recently hired a code inspector with the intentions of hiring another code inspector this year. And this will help keep up with the apartment inspections to ensure our neighborhoods are safe and secure. 380 apartments were inspected for occupancy. 492 violations were filed in 2021. The city strives to continue to work with building owners to seek resolution rather than impose fines, but when necessary, we'll do so to ensure the safety of our neighborhoods. The same principle is intended for garbage violations. Appearance is almost everything. It's very important to the quality of life, the health and well-being of our residents and our visitors as well. And we will continue to work to improve our appearance. With the help of DPW, we remediated 32 issues to maintain vacant properties, secure buildings, and remove debris. 239 building permits were also issued. DPW, another very important department. Thanks to the Albany County Department of Public Works, we have been assessing our equipment needs and reviewing our fleet. To date, we purchased 2 new trucks, a snow pusher for our tractor, as well as attachments for our Ventrex machine, which has been to improve our fleet. We just recently hired 2 more members to support our team in the year 2022. The city also plans to join with the town of Colony for assistance in repaving 8th Avenue. This is another great example of working together with our adjoining municipalities to get the jobs done. This year, our bulk day at Hudson Shores Park will be again held in May, as well as an electronic recycling day. Further details will be announced on our city's website. The City of Watervliet has always considered the environment a high priority. This administration plans to refocus our areas where both expenses and energy can be saved. Our monthly bills are being analyzed to identify fluctuations and to aid in the reduction of our energy consumption. It was identified that our solar panels were not operational and we've been working to get them resurrected to perform as intended. As previously mentioned, we recently did our street light purchase, and we will continue with this endeavor. Electric vehicles, from all indications, is a wave of the future, and Watervliet is now part of that plan. 12 electric stations were recently installed at 3 locations and are now all operational. The city also intends to acquire an electric vehicle for our own fleet as well in the near future. Our fire department proudly continues to operate effectively and professionally over the past year. They responded to a record number of calls of 2,571, including 5 structure fires, and assisted in mutual aid calls 18 times. Thanks to the federal assistance of our firefighters grant, we were able to send 3 firefighters to paramedic schools at no cost to the city. The department will continue to support the efforts to fight COVID-19 with response to virus-related calls. Our fleet is currently at full occupancy, making up 25 men, and in 2021 the city had a rare major structure fire resulting in the loss of 3 homes and which displaced 12 individuals. Fortunately, no one was injured, and for those that lost their homes, they've all been relocated. The city administration was able to raise nearly $20,000 that was dispersed to those residents to help with their loss. The police department. In 2021, we welcomed Police Chief Centeni to our team, and he was sworn in this past March, and now diligently leads a department of 26 men with the addition of 3 new men to the ranks. Chief Centeni has released his own departmental report, including the number of calls and activities to the department, showing a strong emphasis on safety. As you are aware, there has been an increase in violence among all our neighboring cities, in neighboring communities, and throughout this nation. We are not exempt from this senseless violence. Efforts are being made to ensure the safety for the best to our ability, both for the safety of the residents and our policemen involved. In 2021, Watervliet Police removed 13 guns off the streets, a majority of them resulting from vehicle stops. We held our first city gun buyback program, which was held with the assistance of the Attorney General's office and neighboring police agencies, taking another 30 guns off the streets. We also continue to show our support to public safety by purchasing 2 new police vehicles, and just recently started the process to purchase body cameras for our men. The Watervliet School District and the Police Department has now worked together to reinstitute the School Resource Officer. This role is intended to reconnect our youth and community through encouragement and communication. Communication between our police department and our residents will always remain a high priority. To strengthen that focus on public information, we also now have a public information officer added to the team. The police department and the city council has worked together to offer now a bike registration program that will be available this spring. This will enable our residents to register their bikes by having a tag placed on the bike and a photo taking that will assist in the recovery of a lost or stolen bicycle. A full copy of the Watervliet Police Department's annual report will be attached, and we appreciate their many efforts in making our community better and safer. I believe one of our most important assets to our city residents is our water reservoir. To improve our reservoir's water quality, we purchased a harvester to help reduce the chestnuts that are clogging up our reservoir. This hasn't been done in years. This will begin in June and will continue through September. Our reservoir also has a hydroelectric plant, and this plant needs federal government licensing, and an effort to gain the license has been going on for over 2 years. This ongoing effort is expected to be completed next month, which will ensure the city with a 40-year license. Also, a few years ago, the town of Gilliland increased our tax assessment in 2019, over 5 times the original value. So we filed a grievance and now had subsequently placed a lawsuit to fight this increase. But despite the increase in the tax expense, we maintain a 0 increase in both our water and sewer rates. Final engineering design phase are currently being reviewed for phase 1 of a 2-phase sewer separation project. This project includes $1.2 million in the grant with $3.5 million in in-house share. We have hopes for construction of phase 1 this year and plans for phase 2 in the following year. The filter plant grant is currently underway, with engineering is expected to begin and construction this spring and summer. This includes a new computer monitoring system, a boiler, fencing, a new garage for our vehicles, and other mechanical improvements. Our team right now is currently reviewing applications for those residents who apply to have their lead water lines replaced, and we expect award for these homeowners in the early spring. Priority, of course, is for homes with children under 6 years of age. Parks. In 2021 was another productive year for our city parks and events. COVID-19 impacted some of our routine events such as the Memorial Day Parade, but overall we were able to continue to host a few of the older and some also new events. I want to thank everyone who participated in making them happen. A few key events that were listed were as follows. We had the Arsenal City Run, with over 200 runners crossing over the finish line. Hudson Shores Park hosted a very successful antique car show. Watervliet Fire, Police, the Arsenal, and the city leaders gathered for a 9/11 ceremony at the Elks Club. The city's pool opened after a one-year hiatus and ran successfully, registering a record number of passes. We're also very thankful for the generous gift of $500,000 from a former resident and owner of Twin Bridges to build a splash spray pool for area for our children. Also in the help and the donation of yet another connected resident and owner of Wizard Works for the design, and work is now underway and we expect to be fully operational this coming spring. The Dome was very active in 2021. It provided year-round programming for our city residents with the help of the Albany County Recreation Department and private renters. The Dome generated its highest revenue ever, which was reinvested all back into our parks. The Watervliet Charitable Foundation donated over $100,000 to build a structure at the foot of the Congress Street Bridge to honor the Meneely Bell Foundry. This has now created a gateway to our rich history, showing the importance Watervliet played in the Industrial Revolution. Meneely Foundry produced over 65,000 bells placed all around the world. The foundation again is led by a former resident, John Rosano. Our city has also benefited from the participation of our Boy Scouts, who require a project to earn their Eagle Scout rank. One scout chose to paint the fence around our city pool, which hasn't been painted in over 30 years. And another scout purchased and planted shrubs around the new Bell Memorial on 19th Street. A large amount of work was completed on the bike trail in 2021. A minor checklist of items remains, but the trail has proven to be well used and drawing both city and non-city residents to enjoy. This is also an economic benefit to the city as well. Our tree committee has been busy working to maintain the quality and increase the number of trees here in the city. We received a grant to remove over 100 tree stumps around the city, and we also received a grant from National Grid to plant an additional 100 trees at a value of almost $30,000. The committee has also conducted a tree memorial program where 40 residents paid for the cost of a tree and will have a plaque installed in the memory of some loved one. The money generated will allow additional trees to be planted around the city. The National Grid Foundation awarded us $15,000 to replace bollards around Reds Field and also materials to make 15 new picnic benches to be built by yet another Boy Scout. We also received a gift from the Krinnigan family to install a small Meneely Bell Memorial in honor of their parents at the Gazebo Park located on the south end of the city. The Krinnigan family is a longtime family home near the family home in Port Schuyler section. The key to our success and support and involvement is the involvement of our residents. Redemption Church has been a significant supporter by holding bi-monthly food distribution events, handing out tons of food and hot meal programs for our city residents. Last year, a large group of volunteers gathered at the Dome, and they made beds for children who live in our city. We joined with the organization called Sleep in Heavenly Peace and we made 45 beds for children in our area. COVID-19 clinics were held throughout the year with the help of our county and their partners to administer vaccinations for almost 1,000 residents. We recently sent out a survey to our senior citizens inquiring what services they were lacking. COVID-19 brought forward the recognition to the lack of some of our seniors' needs. And we are currently analyzing these surveys, and we will actually be working on how to increase those services and provide better services to support our seniors in this coming years. Recently, we were notified that we received $500,000 to help our lower income residents with some needed home repairs. We are also currently working and developing new guidelines, and will be rewarding approximately 30 or more of our residents grants for those with the available funds for some general, maybe some more important code items. Currently, the city is working on several improvements projects with the city-owned buildings as well, and plan to complete them in this 2022 year. The repair to our soffits at City Hall has been awarded, and soon the replacement of windows at City Hall will be going out to bid. Both improvements received grant funding from Assemblyman John McDonald and Senator Neil Breslin. The waterfront project, we're intending to include a boat docks, a restaurant, and some other amenities for Hudson Shores Park in 2022. We are currently working with a company to provide a tour boat operating out of the park. In 2021, we also hired 2 individuals to help support overall operations to the city, to help in the development and to accomplish some of these projects. A study has been conducted to see what the possibility would be to move the courtroom to the church located next to the museum. We're currently reviewing these recommendations and will decide how to best proceed and move forward. We will continue to work on improvements and ideas to help lay the foundation for continued growth and here in the city. We are looking forward to working with our residents to provide the best possible living conditions as possible, despite COVID-19 throwing a wrench in our efforts. I'm pleased to have a great team, both on the City Council and staff, to help accomplish our goals. Improving a city is not a race, it's a marathon. I hope you feel as proud as I do on how far we've come. We have more work to do, and we are not perfect. We can improve, but I promise you this, that we are working constantly to improve not only for the present, but also for the future of Watervliet. Thank you for listening, and please reach out to any one of us at any time if you have any questions. Thank you again. God bless America.